was a child growing up, I loved to read. It was an escape. It was a way for me to go somewhere else. And I remember growing up and telling my mother, Mom, I love books. You know why? And she'd say, why? Because reading can take you anywhere you want to go. Little did I know how true that would be for gaming for me. I would meet people that would be friends. I'd work with people that I'd get close to. And at the end of the day, what I didn't know is the family I would gain. Gentlemen, we've spent the last 10 plus years creating together. We've loved, we've laughed, we've cried. But here's to the next 10 years when we can really push our content for our audience, to strive for excellence, to be the best we can possibly be and be a light and a beacon in a place where people may not have it. So to everyone who's watching, to everyone who's enjoying this reveal today, I'm so excited to have you here with us, because here's one more truth. Gaming is better with friends. I love you both.
Greetings, adventurers. Welcome to the reveal of the LoreForged Guild for Ashes of Creation. If you've been around the LoreForged community or have watched our show, you have a sense of what we're about. We love Ashes of Creation and the community that surrounds us.
It's no secret that we love lore and story in our games. What's more, one of the biggest thrills for us is innovation in the content we provide. By bringing a healthy dose of immersion and roleplay in our creations, we aim to bring the world of Vera to you in a captivating way.
Without further ado, Cash, Sonny, and myself are proud to present the LoreForged Guild for the upcoming MMO, Ashes of Creation. Welcome to the Black Talon Trading Company. Hey! Hey! How's everybody doing? Woo! Hey, welcome in. Yeah. How's everybody doing?
Well,
I was not ready for that. Nope. I had not seen that, and I was not prepared.
You are not prepared.
yes. I was not prepared for foggy glasses, so let me start by saying I was not expecting that. Thank you, and I love you back, buddy. And I know that resonates with all of us.
My wife is currently selling me out in the chat. As we speak. Oh goodness.
Gosh. Oh. Welcome in, everybody. Holy cow. Well, everybody, gosh. We're here. We are here. Everyone who's here, welcome in. Oh my gosh, look at all these gifted subs we got going on. Look
what we got. There's so many people here.
How many people are here?
There's 87 people here.
Oh, welcome.
We got a raid. We had 50 people in before we even hit the button. This is just such a magical night for us, and we're so glad that you guys are able to enjoy this with us. Honest to God, if it was us and 4 people, I'd be a little disappointed, but I'd still be okay. I'm because this is a thing for us that we really wanted to do a great job with this, and it just makes it so much more fun to have all of our friends with us. So just fantastic. But man, JB, I was not ready for that.
I was trying to watch that through eyes that were half filled with water, because that means a lot. That kind of stuff means a lot to us, you guys. He's all of us together here, us three have a lot of history. If you haven't watched our show or been around anything that we've done in the past, or been around LoreForged over the past 9 months now for Ashes of Creation, we have a lot of history together. So
yeah.
If I keep talking, I'm going to crack up again, and then our entire production tonight is going to be screwed by
some of those pictures, JB. Some of those pictures. Oh my God!
I had to dig, dude. I had to really dig for those.
Yeah, there was the picture of us in Iowa when we drove down and came to see Sunny in Iowa on the way down to Dragon Con. There was that. What else was there? There was a picture of Jibs with hair with me
when
we were in Seattle. Yeah, we were in Seattle for a game reveal. I don't know. That must have been
what game was
12, 13 years ago. That was
Motiga.
Gigantic.
Yep.
Yeah, right after WildStar went boobs up. We ended up we continued to support Troy Hewitt, and he moved to a new company, and he had a game reveal and invited us up to Seattle for that, and it was an absolute blast. It was the first time that I've ever met Jibs together.
Yep, it was a good time.
Yeah,
it was a good
it was
time.
Super cool.
Do you remember anything about Gigantic?
Yeah, it's out now again with a different company. Yeah, it just re-released.
Like I remember I hated it. I was like, this isn't an MMO.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
Well, everyone who's here, thank you so much for attending the event. We have a wonderful night planned for you. So if you have a drink, everybody, cheers to all of you wonderful people who are here, and just sit back and relax. Thank you to everyone who's here and for all the things, gifted subs, Tested Weevil, go back. I mean, there's a hype train going on. It looks like 3 of them. Wataru, Gary and Kane, my goodness. Wizzy, you all are just fantastic. And
Golden Feather Tavern raided us.
Yes, thank you for the raid. So, gentlemen, let's do a quick welcome in so we can finally say the guild name for LoreForged officially in-game is Black Talon Trading Company. Now, I think we have some things to talk about, boys, about what that means for these wonderful people here. Do we not?
We got a lot to do. We got a lot.
Plenty of things to do. And I do also think it's very important for us to let the people know that this is going to serve as our show for the week.
Yes.
Because we've put a ton of work into this, and this is definitely a high point for us since our content creation started for Ashes of Creation. I will say probably the first high point for us was when we got invited to come on to the AMA with Steven. That was incredible and amazing. But we've been working on this for the better part of probably about 3 solid months. And the last month, we really ramped it up, which is why our video production slowed down a bit over the last month. But hopefully our presentation tonight will explain why, and we'll kind of add some hype for you folks out there who are looking for a really fun and engaging home for your guild and your community that you play with when Ashes of Creation releases.
Yes. Agreed.
I wore my black tie tonight.
Yeah, you did. You look good. You look legit.
Formal tie.
I feel underdressed right now. That's okay. I'm sure that'll change here in a few minutes. Well, guys, you ready?
Love it.
We're going to start with some general guild facts.
Yeah, let's get into them, boys.
Spreadsheets.
Right, there we go. Spreadsheets. Everyone's got their Excel. Let's get after it. All right, so general facts. So for all of you who are here, what we're going to be kind of doing is doing a very quick overview. And then we got a lot more videos to show you, okay? And we're having Q&A, all kinds of fun stuff. So Black Talon Trading Company. You can see it right here. And by the way, this is not a death by PowerPoint, so don't worry. Discover, protect, and thrive. That is the motto, the Black Talon Trading Company. And what that means for us as a guild is the Black Talon Trading Company will focus on all aspects of Ashes of Creation. And so that entails player versus player. That includes player versus environment, harvesting, crafting, and economy. The BTTC, for short, will be a light, we had to be careful there. Will be a light to medium roleplay guild. Cash?
So the Black Talon Trading Company is going to take the stance of being a larger guild. Not necessarily a Zerg guild, but we are going to take the stance of being a larger guild as opposed to taking advantage of the smaller guild perks. And the reason being is because we absolutely think we're going to be able to fill up our guild to the max of 300 members. But what we are doing in order to further kind of specify the things that we want to accomplish is that we are going to break our 300 member guild up into 3 specific branches. Each of those branches is going to house 100 members, depending on some things that we're going to further talk about and display to you.
So each branch of the 3 branches is going to have its own feel and flavor to fit the varying play styles of the gamers. Now, here is a point, okay? You are going to be required to choose a branch that fits your particular game style. However, I want you to know that I don't want you to feel like you're going to be isolated within that branch. There will be plenty of opportunities to work with the other branches and things that are going to be guild-wide as far as stuff like that goes. But of the 3 branches, you are going to have to be in one of those branches. And it's important that that branch really is the kind of branch that you want to be a part of.
Now, let's talk about this full guild functionality that we want to employ. It is going to take a lot of background work. It already has taken a lot of background work to get some of these ideas and concepts in place. So it might be a little bit of a bummer, but upon Alpha 2 and testing of the game, all of this guild functionality that we are going to have in place is not going to be ready. And well, it might be ready, but it's not going to be in place yet until the game launches. When the game launches, these 3 branches will be live. We will have done recruitment for them. We will have set a lot of things in motion. But upon Alpha 2, our goal is to do nothing but test the game. So there will be a Black Talon Trading Company for Alpha 2. However, it is going to be just one big giant happy family of all of our Alpha 2 testers for LoreForged. And we're going to really concentrate on giving Intrepid the best test that we can possibly do and provide the best feedback that we possibly can. So that's probably like one of the biggest frequently asked questions that we thought we were going to get. But there is that. Full guild functionality is going to wait until full launch of the game. Now, that being said, we need to introduce the branches for the Black Talon Trading Company. So is everybody ready? Because I know we are. Without further ado, we would like to introduce the first of the Black Talon Trading Company's branches. The Black Talon Trading Company didn't start off a resounding success. It took work, innovation, grit, and risk. Expeditions into unknown territory. The Black Talon Trading Company didn't start off a resounding success. It took work, innovation, grit, and risk. Expeditions into unknown territories were dangerous, and they required experienced explorers and adventurers to further the interests of the company. Need a new route discovered and mapped? A particular artifact located and recovered? A piece of coveted history uncovered? A deep cavern rid of goblins clearing a path to the treasure? Welcome to the Wardens. In the early days of the Black Talon Trading Company, furs and skins were its primary commodities. Operating modestly, the company focused its efforts mainly in the mountainous regions, relying on a simple team of merchants, transporters, and guides to distribute its goods. However, as time passed and conflicts erupted, the company's needs expanded. Black Talon Trading evolved into a contracted supply line, catering to a diverse clientele that included both military units and other various factions embroiled in conflicts across the region. Indifferent to the cargo's nature or the contention it fueled, their business was simple: the acquisition and transport of goods, and business was booming. As Black Talon Trading's operations grew, so did its need for a more diversified infrastructure. Explorers and cartographers were tasked with discovering and mapping new routes through treacherous territories. Scouts and escorts were employed to ensure the safe passage of supply caravans. To procure rare relics and antiquities, scholars and historians were recruited to scour the land, uncovering the secrets of bygone civilizations and selling them to the highest bidder. As the company's reputation for reliable procurement and delivery spread across Sanctus, they aimed to solidify that reputation by winning the hearts and minds of the populace. Their outreach extended to local communities, where adventurers in the company's employ offered services ranging from simple errands to thwarting local mischief. One particularly grateful settlement referred to the emissaries of the company as the Wardens of Retribution, for relieving them of a particularly menacing tribe of goblins. Word quickly spread to nearby towns of the actions and goodwill of these Wardens of the Black Talon Trading Company. The name stuck. Friends, I think we're going to have to change this slide to the Warden slide. Friends, I hope you like what you saw. And I'm going to reveal the logo for the Wardens. Right there. Awesome. We did a shirt change. So, friends, we're going to talk a little bit about the premise of what the Wardens actually are and what their function is going to be in our guild. So it's important to remember that the Wardens, if you listen to the story, are the expeditionary force of the Black Talon Trading Company. And I am extremely proud to announce that I will be the leader of the Wardens. The Wardens are comprised of explorers, scouts, cartographers, historians, scholars, and emissaries. And if that doesn't spell lore, I don't know what does. The Wardens have varying skill sets such as adventuring, mountaineering, and of course, cave spelunking. But they also conduct research and act as ambassadors for the company. And yes, the Wardens can fight. Now, having such a wide skill set as a unified team, the Wardens are going to play an integral role in the success of Black Talon Trading. As explorers and scouts, Wardens are the masters of traversing and mapping the most remote regions of Vera. That's your exploration. As historians and scholars, Wardens research and discover the deepest corners of the landscape, uncovering and chronicling Vera's lore and legend. As emissaries, Wardens act as the agents of the Black Talon Trading Company to seamlessly integrate with local communities and cultures, fostering goodwill and resolving issues to assist those in need. Now that's great. That's fantastic. But what does all of that mean? What is the in-game focus of the Wardens going to be? Jibs? So the Wardens is your PvE branch. We are going to specialize in lore knowledge, which is going to take us into story arcs, quests, and we will be the content experts of PvE. That is going to focus on either group or solo gameplay. So it doesn't matter what your gameplay style is, you will have a home with the Wardens. We're going to be learning and detailing boss mechanics. We're going to be picking the hardest fights and finding out what works. We're going to be mapping dungeons and then taking that information, including discovering hidden locations and game secrets from our rogues, and we're going to be transferring that information to the rest of the guild. We are going to discover uncharted territories and points of interest, which means we are probably going to be the ones that are pushing the limits of the node. We're going to be exploring out further to do scouting and see what other people are up to. Our scouting parties and the observation of what is going on in the nodes is going to provide scouting reports to perhaps some of the other branches if we encounter issues within the node, including trespassers, poachers, traveling caravans, player killers, and those that decide to indulge in our resources. Now, we are also going to have several ranks. And each of our branches is going to have ranks that you can ascend to. I'll give a quick overview here of our ranks. We're going to start with Apprentice Explorer, Cartographer, Pathfinders, Novice Scholars, Archivists, Master Historians, Warden Adepts, Wardens, Warden Captain, which is our first officer rank, Warden Commander, which is a higher officer rank, and then Lore Master, which is going to be, you had to know I was going to pick Lore Master for my branch lead title. So anyway, that's where we're at with our ranks. Jibs? So some of the benefits of joining the Wardens portion of the Black Talon Trading Company, we are going to hold events as scouting teams to surveil the actions of potential threats to our node. And we're either going to attack them on site, or we're going to furnish that information to other relevant branches. Maybe if we see that the fight is a little bit too much to pick. The Wardens will be the eyes and the ears of the forest. The Wardens are unwavering in their duty of advancing the company's interests, standing vigilant against both natural and supernatural threats, which means any threat that's out there that has to do with PvP, we will squash it. The Warden's relentless pursuit of understanding furthers the company's grasp of Vera's potential riches. Now, with each foray into the unknown, we will carve a path for the Black Talon Trading Company's expansion, driven by a relentless curiosity to unravel the mysteries and lore of the untamed Veran landscape. That, my friends, is the meat and the potatoes of the first branch of the Black Talon Trading Company. For a look at the next branch of our guild, allow me to introduce our good friend, Jibs.
Upon axe and shield, staff and spell, the great warriors of the Black Talon Trading Company sound their horns for battle. In this band of fighters, anyone can rise to the ranks of power and respect, for it's a brotherhood forged in the violence of war. Welcome to the Warborne. Warborne is the PvP branch of the Black Talon Trading Company, focusing on player versus player combat. The members of the Warborne hunger for a good scrap, keeping their axes sharp and their spells precise, ever ready for the call to war. The Warborne provide protection for the Black Talon Trading Company's other two branches, and with ruthless brutality, bring swift ends to those who cross their path. But the Warborne is more than just brute strength, it's also cunning and preparation. In the Warborne, its members are expected to not just overcome their enemy, they're expected to outsmart them. But the battlefield is more than just skill, as thoughtful recon can turn the tide of war before it ever begins. In the Warborne, its members can move higher in its ranks by showing their prowess on the battlefield, showing themselves of good character, and by passing their foundling trials. In the Warborne, you earn every inch of your position, but with that comes the respect of your fellow members. You hear that? The drums of war sound, recruit. Will you answer, or will you cower in fear? Warborne, together we bleed, forever we war. Woo! Where's my PvPers at? Yeah, baby. Yeah, so the Warborne, together we bleed, forever we war. So this is absolutely, look, this is the PvP branch of the Black Talon Trading Company. There is no fight we do not answer. There is no oath to the Black Talon Trading Company that we betray. We are the Warborne. And the way this premise goes, in short, before we entered the portal of Vera, we were a wayward warband. You were the ones who survived. You were the ones left over from the wars. Your companies that you were with, the things that you were a part of, just kind of over time just decayed, and you ended up forming this war band. And along the way, you met the Black Talon Trading Company. So without a doubt, we are dedicated to protecting the Black Talon Trading Company. And you'll learn more about that whenever you join the Warborn, kind of as you saw in the video talking about the Foundling Trials. So our focus in game, well, PvP. So if I know I can't be the only one who loves good story, but has that yearning inside of you. It seems like it just never leaves to compete, to fight, to go to war. And that's exactly what the Warborn is all about. So you have everything that involves an Ashes of Creation, we will be doing. We will be there. If as long as we have the capability to be there in the scrap, we will be there. So Caravan PvP. You've seen a little bit of that. Open world PvP, of course. Bounty hunting, hello, Mandalorian fans. I mean, come on, like, absolutely. This is the way. Node Wars, well, you saw that recent dev update. That was amazing, right? Yeah, we'll be partaking in that. PvP Battlegrounds, because why not? And of course, guild events. Now, branch benefits. What's that mean for you to be a part of the Warborn? Well, when you are in my branch, which by the way, I'm leading the branch, so Cash said he was doing his. Well, you'll be a part of mine if you're in the Warborn. And so for the rankings, the thing that's unique about the Warborn with the rankings, it's so when we are in a fight, when we're in the thick of it and things are going down, your rank will coincide with the group that you're a part of within the combat. So when I'm giving an order, let's say before a fight ever starts, just a quick example, and I say, Outriders, go take a walk. You'll know that that's my recon unit. I want you to go survey the area. I want you to come back with information. What's going on? What is ahead of us that we need to be aware of? So your rankings will absolutely coincide with your position, like your unit, if you will, within the Warborn. Next, you have prestige, because just like it was said in the video, it's same here. Everything that happens in the Warborn, you earn. And that comes through your skill and prowess in combat. And also this kind of coincides with the renown, so I'll talk about that as well. So it also coincides with more than skill. It's more than skill. I'm looking for character. Like, we're not teabagging here. We're not doing that thing. We're better than that. For the Warborn, we really hold honor in a high regard and skill. And so you'll be rewarded for that within the Warborn. Also, who's to say maybe once a month we don't get together for tournaments? And maybe at the end of the year, we do a massive stream on the LoreForged channel and we promote it through our episodes. And it is, excluding some fancy name, a tournament of the year kind of thing. And the winner is rewarded with all kinds of wonderful renown and fun things. So you can look forward to possibly that as well. And on top of that, quite frankly, something that will come with your time in the Warborn, and that is the knowledge of Varan terrain. It's got to go beyond mini-maps. It has to go beyond world maps. You have to know the lay of the land. You have to know your corners, checking your corners when you're taking this caravan. You know that, hey, over here and here, there's a really good chance something could happen. Something could go down. And us as the Warborn, we are responsible. Granted, all Black Talon are responsible, but especially the Warborn is expected of us to protect those caravans, to protect our family, our guild, who we swore an oath to. Again, you'll learn more about that. But that's just a little bit of a taste of the Warborn. And I think it would be doing us a severe justice. We did not reveal the last branch of the Black Talon Trading Company. And that comes through the form of our good friend, Sonny Ravencourt. Let's watch.
Great army, there is an accountant who makes sure the mercenaries are paid. For every grand expedition, a merchant has purchased and packed their goods. There is no progress without economic control. Welcome to Capital. Capital is the economic branch of the Black Talon Trading Company. Focused on crafting, trade, and politics, Capital is the financial backbone of the Guild, providing the other branches and the Guild itself with resources and support. Sure, every trader keeps a bit for themselves, but the greater rewards are always achieved when the Black Talon is able to exert its full influence over a region. When this happens, everyone's pockets are full. There are few limitations and restrictions in Capital. A trader can make their riches in caravans one month and smithing the next. The markets are a fluid realm, and to tell members of Capital how best to defeat them would be folly. Experimentation and creativity are abundant in the ranks and are often rewarded with great returns. However, support is non-negotiable. In order to maintain status within the Guild, there must be return. The wardens provide new opportunities. The warborne provides safety and security. Nothing in Vera is free. The members of Capital must provide the economic foundation for these efforts by way of finance and goods. After all, if the Guild requires a new hall, who's going to build it? The warborne? 7 save us. Capital. In the 7 we trust. Everyone else, coin. Capital. In the 7 we trust. Everyone else, coin. I'm very excited about this. This is everything that I've always wanted in an MMO. And I think that you probably can tell from that video that the idea behind Capital is that this is the branch that will allow the people that want to do all of the other things that are involved in an MMO a chance to do it in style with support from the Guild. You know how much I love logistics, how much I love moving the pieces around to support the larger goals of the Guild. We will be necessary to support the warborne. We're going to be necessary to support the wardens. Capital is really the branch that makes the whole machine go. And frankly, you might say, well, what am I going to do if all I'm doing is in the trading post, or if all I'm doing is crafting or things like that? And that is something that I want you to understand. Like, every single one of these branches of the Guild is in support of each other. And so we will do these other things. If you're in the wardens, it doesn't mean you can't craft. If you're in the warborne, it doesn't mean you can't play the market. These are specialized type of things, but they do have advantages built in. So if you're a crafter, if you're a trader, if you're a politician, and you want some advantages within this Guild, Capital is where we're going to find them. Next slide, please. All right, the focus in the game. This kind of goes without saying. I'm pretty sure you guys are clever enough to figure this out. If not, maybe the warborne is more for you. Trade, crafting, politics, tactical support in combat operations. Now, I did just throw the warborne under the bus, but here's a really good thing. AshesOfCreation has implied that there is going to be opportunities within larger battles in order to have logistical operations take place. Now, I don't know what those will look like. Maybe you have to provide lumber for a particular thing to build, I don't know, a large bridge to get over something so you can send your warriors. Well, JB's warriors are going to be ready to go. But if we're assigning groups to do these kind of things, Capital is going to be just as important on the battlefield as everyone else. It's just in a different style of gameplay. And when we have people that are dedicated to those kind of things and they're looking to fulfill the mission in whatever way they can, then it really becomes exciting and it becomes a lot of fun. Planning, logistics, intelligence. Planning is a really underrated thing. When you have the ability to see behind the curtain on a lot of opportunities, then you can do a lot of great things. It's nice to know where the market's going to go before it actually does. Next slide, please. Branch benefits. Okay, so here is where it gets fun, right? Every single one of these branches is going to be in communication with each other in addition to the guild. But I would be lying if I didn't say that the wardens aren't going to have their own back channel communications that, you know, maybe we won't be privy to. Now, the larger guild communication, of course, everybody's going to know that kind of stuff. But the warborne, you know, they don't want everybody in their channel when they're talking about these things. So the financial support for capital is going to be crucial. The internal trade opportunities are something that is always fantastic. When you have people that are doing different crafting things inside your guild, that is something that you can take advantage of. I know for a fact that if I am a carpenter, then the first thing I'm going to do is find my local capital lumber mill. I'm going to find the people that are lumberjacks, and I'm going to make internal trades with them. And I'm going to negotiate deals where I can buy stuff in bulk, and everybody wins then, right? So this is a good opportunity for people that really enjoy crafting, as all of those inside trade opportunities. Strategic financial decisions based on the larger goals. Again, you're going to know if we're going into a certain area, we will let capital know what's in that area and say like, hey, these are the kind of things that we are going to be focusing on in the future. So you may want to change your crafting tactics to help support that, because also you're going to make a little bit of coin off that, and you know, you'll get yours. Next, please. Crafting support. Yes, this is what I was talking about, that internal commodity in relationships. And the biggest thing out of this is the communication on the crafting opportunities. I really think that that's something that can't be understated. When you have that communication between different levels of the artisan program, then you really can make a lot of money. And this is going to be a ton of fun for people to be able to say like, okay, we don't have somebody that's jewel crafting, for example. You know, maybe we need to do that. We don't have a good armor smith. Who wants to get in on that? And we say, you are going to do that, and we will support you in doing this because we need it. And so all of that armor that the guild needs to buy, they're going to be buying it internally before they're buying it externally. That's going to be something that the other two branches will support us with. Next slide, please. Politics. Okay. Here we go. You haven't had a game where you can do politics quite like Ashes of Creation, and this is very exciting. To have guild political sway is kind of a new opportunity for us. You've always had it in loose and soft forms, but here it's like, this is hard form politics. There is going to be votes. There is going to be elections based on money. Frankly, when you look at it, if it's a military node, then, you know, maybe things are a little bit different. But if it is a scientific node, if it is a divine node, if it is an economic node, like, that's our wheelhouse, right? And so those are going to be the important things with strategies and how we're going to be able to accomplish those kind of goals. So the group within Capital will be a huge political force. Next slide, please. Okay, here we go. So if you are going to join Capital, what are you really getting with this? Well, we're going to have ranks within there. Now, everyone starts out as a trader. Everybody is a trader. If you're trading iron for ingots or political favor for coin or pelts, you know, trade is the only truth, right? And so you will need to go out and you will need to bring back some money for the Black Talon Trading Company. That is the whole premise of this kind of thing. Now, if you are able to do that, based on objective measures, how you are providing for the guild, you can rank up. You can get to a senior trader, and eventually you can get to the rank of executive. And once you're an executive, then you really are going to be in the inside group of decision making on these kind of things. So executives are going to manage the traders. They see through the churn. They see what direction it's going. They will be my eyes and ears for the economic outlook and how we're doing and how the traders are doing. It's a hierarchy based on merit. Okay. And this is how the guild is going to be able to have those opportunities. And I don't want you to think that, I'm going to be like a slave to just buying shields and stuff like that for other people. No. like the executives, when we go into a town, when the guild evolves a node, there's all sorts of opportunities as to what kind of buildings we want to put in something like that. And so those are the decisions that are very important. And those are the kind of decisions that capital will really be making, because it will provide the other people the best opportunity to get the things that they need to do if we are able to establish the foothold in the region economically. And then finally, the director. I will be the director. I will rely on the executives in order to make good financial decisions and potentially political moves. And it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. I am extremely excited for this entire branch. And I hope that some of you will decide that there's opportunity within Capital for you and join me. So last slide, please. Coin never lies. It's true. At the end of the day, there's going to be haves and have-nots. And we want to make sure that the Black Talon Trading Company is in the haves. And that means through exploration, that means through war, and that means through logistics, finance, and politics. And when all of those things are working together, then everything is good. And without any one of these branches, it really doesn't function like we want it to. So this is Capital. In the 7 we trust, everyone else, coin.
Woo! All right. Well, everybody, what do you think? Oh, goodness gracious. That is, in short, the Black Talon Trading coming down. We're not done because we've got a lot of things to talk about. And frequently asked questions. Now, yeah, Sonny, show off your shirt a little bit.
I know, I didn't do it. I felt bad. Look at this thing.
Show him. Give him a good flex. Hit him with the double.
Even got the LoreForged.
Yeah, look at that. There he is. Yeah, look, he's doing squats.
Let's see that ass, Sonny.
Yeah.
I gotta say it before he puts his headphones back on.
Yeah, no kidding. You get a yellow. Hey, whoo, looking good.
Sonny, I love your presentation. I love that you guys gave me a hard time that mine was too long, and then you just totally crushed that. And it was fantastic.
Sorry about that.
But I do want to let you know that they're already calling us the Bitcoin guilds.
Hey, Bitcoin's at 67,000. I mean, what do you want?
Not wrong. Well, to everyone, I hope you're enjoying this, and we're going to kind of continue this with some frequently asked questions, some things that may pop up, or maybe some questions that have popped up along the way. And for those of you who have more after this too, like we're here to answer questions and have a good time. So, Sonny, I think. It goes without saying, people are always going to want to know, when will we open recruitment for the Black Talon Trading Company?
Yes. So we're going to do a little bit of a cooling off period here, and we are going to open prior to the start of Alpha 2. So the date that we are working with right now is July 13th. That is this coming July 13th. So in about a month, we are going to open up recruitment. And JB is going to have some more details on how recruitment is going to actually work.
Yeah. So in short, the way this is going to work, and again, all of these answers in their full length will be posted on our Discord after this is released. So that way you can kind of have a reference point. But just to kind of give you a heads up. So members will be required to fill out an app. And applications will be carefully considered in order received. Now, this will, something to keep in mind, we're going to have to level the guild until all 300 slots are open. So invites to the in-game guild will take place as these slots open in the order that these apps are accepted. Okay, that's really the only fair way we felt that we could do this. And so it would be fair to all. And then finally, the guild, like we said earlier, it will have a focus on light to medium RP. Now, Cash is going to talk a little bit about that right now.
Yeah, so that is, I guess it's just one of those hard lines that we decided to draw with our guild. And mainly because when we have talked in the past about, like, if we had our dream game, which this game is really shaping up to be. And like, that's why we're putting so much effort in covering Ashes of Creation, because this is truly shaping up to be our dream game. we had some very specific ways that we wanted to we chose to run a guild if we were going to just dive headfirst right into possibly, hopefully not, a shallow pool. We think it's going to be pretty deep. But the reason that we decided to go with light to medium RP is because we really do enjoy, even though we're still relatively new to RP, we wanted a way to add flavor and dimension to your character as you play every day. Every time you log in, your character is going to have this established place in the world. And the reason being is one of the things that we are going to require through our application process is that your character has a backstory, and that can change. That will you're always welcome to change those things, because the way that we're going to run our role play is going to be very loose. But we want you to know that like role play elements such as in-character conversations are going to take place from time to time, but are not required at all times. That would be heavy role play. We're not doing that. We're going to have certain times, and certainly you can do so as much as you'd like. But there are going to be certain times where we will do that, like certain events that will take place with some role play flavor, but are definitely not required at all times. Most of the time, it's going to be out of character communication, where we're just going to be playing the game and just having a good time. But the branches, the way that our branches are I don't want to say segregated, it's a terrible name. The way that our branches are branched out, okay, will allow for some really fun role play elements. For instance, if the wardens decide to do a scouting night, we can break up into different scouting groups, and we can go scout different sectors of our node, and maybe even push further into other nodes just to piss people off, maybe, or to see what others are doing. And we might do that in a role play feel. And I think some of those things are going to be very, very fun things to do. Another example of some of our light to medium role play would be maybe we have a tavern night and we do some storytelling, or we have a tavern night where people are just kind of free to hang out together as a guild and talk about their adventures together in character. So just again, if role play is absolutely not your thing, there will still be a place for you here, but you're going to have to dive in a little bit, or this just might not be the spot for you with what we're trying to do with our guild and with our community. But those guild-wide events, I think, are going to be a lot of fun. World boss hunts in character would just be absolutely amazing, and we're really looking to do that. And again, like, we also are new at role play, but we want to bring that extra layer of flavor to you.
Absolutely. And I think that just to follow up on that, I think that that's something that is going to come naturally simply by the way that we've built this, right? That the different branches just are inherently going to drive that kind of thing. You know, when you're out there doing the events, and when JB's making calls on what's going on, you know, that is role play in a sense, right? It is not the different colored pants and the doth here's and thine theirs. No. And we're not doing that, right? Like, it's
but everybody's character should have a place in the world. Like, that's what we want to do for you. And if you haven't tried it yet, then this could be something new and fun for you.
Yeah. Yes.
Agreed.
It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be easier than you think it's going to be. But like, you know, Bongslayer 42069XX, he might not be in this guild. You know, this just might not be for him.
We might have a filter for that.
Yeah. The obvious question next is, will everyone be able to get into the guild? And the unfortunate answer is no. I think there was a little bit, just a wee bit of confusion in the chat about, is this 300 person guilds? Is this 100 person guilds? No, this is one guild. Okay. So this is a 300 person cap, single guild. Okay. That leaves us the opportunity then to have alliances with other guilds. We will have 100 people per branch. That is the goal. Okay. So Once you hit 300, then we're really capped by Ashes of Creation, and there's just nothing we can do about that. At this time, there are no plans to expand into multiple guilds, okay? It may change in the future, but it's more important to us to provide the quality experience that we want for that guild than it is to have multiple guilds, okay? So one guild, 300 people.
Agreed. And so there was something I really wanted to make sure I read out accordingly, and this was something that I didn't want to mess up. So I'm going to read this to you verbatim. Now, this is, well, what if, and a lot of you may be having this question, what if my gameplay style fits all of the branches? Well, if your gameplay style fits all of the branches, maybe more than one, you will still need to choose only one. However, you will always be welcome to play with the members of other branches. The singular choice of one branch is mostly to match you with what you concentrate on in game and really for roleplay. So any member of any branch is welcome to join in guild events, regardless of whether or not you are a member of the branch running the event. For example, maybe Cassius, the LoreForged, is...
out there forging lore.
Don't give away my name. Someone's gonna take it.
Hammering out lore on his anvil.
Yeah, he is. He's just hammering that lore. So Cash, the LoreForged, is a member of the PvE branch. However, he enjoys PvP as well. Well, Cassius would, of course, be welcome to join the PvPers anytime he would like. And Cash, I think, can probably evaluate just a little bit more on what happens if you start in a branch, but maybe change your mind.
Yeah, I think that's a really good thing to cover. And if you happen to get into the warborne and you find out that they're a little bit too hardcore for you, you figure that your eyes have to be on a swivel a little bit more than you would want them to be, and you would rather just maybe I'm going to try
doing this. Maybe
I'm going to try PvE. I'm really interested in mechanics, or I'm really interested in capital because my coffers are low. There is a route. There is a system for you to change your branch, but just like changing your profession or spec in game, there's going to be a process for that. It's not going to be some month drawn out process in order for you to change. We're going to be pretty cool with it, but there may be some kind of role play elements if you join the wardens and then want to switch over to the warborne. The wardens will be very sad to see you go, but it doesn't mean that when we go on a raid or we run it or we have a dungeon night that you still, if you're in another branch, you are more than welcome. Everybody's more than welcome to join in any events that any of the other branches are doing. That way we are maintaining camaraderie between the entire guild, and we're not segregated into these three specific different, that is for role play only. If you want to go raid, if you want to be in a hunting party with the warborne, you are more than welcome to do so. But if you want to officially change your role play flavor and then get all the things from the warborne or capital or the wardens, then there will be a small role play process for you to take part in before we'll allow that to happen.
Yep, agreed. And so next question may be, is there a time requirement or for gameplay per day or week for the guild? In short, well, I mean, look, we'll be honest. We prefer active members. Excuse me. But there will be no time commitment. However, we will prune members who have not logged into the game for 2 weeks unless notified of absence. So if you have and that's to keep the things moving, to keep the guild flowing and active. We've done this in the past and it is proven to work very well. So let's say maybe you have a vacation coming up. Just let us know. Let staff know that you, and not just us, because we'll have officers, each guild branch will have, people that we rely on. And so within that, make sure that you're letting them know and we'll make sure it's logged that, hey, so-and-so, maybe I saw Zen Marksman earlier in chat. Zen Marksman's on vacation for 2 weeks. He's going to Florida, and I really wish I was there because I'm jealous because he's going to Universal Studios and he's going to a beach. Well, all right, cool. Well, we won't remove him because we know exactly that he's at Universal Studios picking his wand at the Harry Potter scene and going to the beach. Cool. Got it. So 2 week basically prune limit is what we have. So 2 week inactivity period. Cash.
Oh, sorry. I was waving to Clark.
No, it's fine. Hi, Clark.
Okay, so here's another question that we thought might come up, and this one it's a super easy answer. Can I stay in the Discord community if I'm not in the guild? 100% yes. 100% yes. Before anything else, before any guild loyalties, we are going to have folks within our community that want to be in other guilds or are in other guilds. And again, before anything else that we do, LoreForged is a community for sure. 100% is a community. So we will never, ever say that you cannot be in our Discord just because you're not in our guild. And we fully anticipate many of our friends that are playing Ashes of Creations either start their own guilds, which we're happy to help with, or are already in other guilds and are probably spying on us right now.
It's true.
Wizzy,
it's very true. I see you, Wizzy.
Thogly.
Stabby.
Thogly.
Des.
My junior
all of
brother.
these people. We're doomed.
Yeah,
we're doomed.
so-
we should just shut it down right now. We've got too many spies.
Wrap it up.
So I will say before anything else, like our community revolves around I'll just say right off the bat, revolves around friendship first, and making friends and keeping friends. And I think our show and our content creation second, and then the guild, even though we're going to be spending a lot of damn time with the guild. Those folks who are with us are going to be, just as loved as the folks who are just in our community and shucking it up about Ashes of Creation each day. So absolutely. If you're in another guild, you are always more than welcome to be part of our Lore fam, our Forge fam, and we'll always treat you with open arms.
That's right. And this was kind of already addressed earlier, but something that we really wanted to make sure we mention. And just a couple of these left, and really we're open up for Q&A. Any questions that you all have. So if you have questions, get ready, lock and loaded. But will the guild function similar to the launch vision at Alpha 2? In short, no, it won't. So the Alpha 2 guild will be a shell guild. And this is for members to gather and kind of just hang out. And there will not be any of the Black Talon trading branches involved during this time. The sole focus for us during Alpha 2, truthfully, is to focus on testing the game, number one. And number two, giving Intrepid as much feedback as humanly possible. So just a quick note, Alpha 2 will be a shell guild that really just wants to get everybody together and having a good time. Sonny?
Yeah, right. And so when you think about Alpha 2 being basically a testing thing where people are moving in and out and we are trying all sorts of things, the question is, what if I'm not in the alpha or the beta? Can I still apply to the guild, and will there be potentially a spot for me? And you have to think about it like this. The alpha and the beta, if you're in the guild in the alpha or the beta, that just means that we're playing with you at that time while we're testing things, okay? Those are not permanent spots. This is a launch guild. I want to be absolutely clear on that. We will open up the applications here in a month, but this guild will be designed for launch. Alpha and beta are exactly like Ashes wants us to be, which is testing, okay? So if you don't have an alpha key, doesn't matter. If you don't have a beta key, doesn't matter. You might be in the guild in the alpha or the beta and not in the guild at launch. That is a possibility, simply because we are designing this guild for launch. Okay. I think that now we might as well have some questions from the audience. And I don't know how long you guys want to do this, but I have one already that was an important question that I wanted to address like right away.
Sure.
And I can't even remember who asked it, but the question was basically, if I'm in the Warborne, can I still raid with the wardens, right? And that implies a lot.
Yeah.
What the person is basically asking is, can I do the things that my particular guild branch isn't specializing in? And the answer is obviously yes. Okay. Emphatically yes. I myself, when I am not like grubbing every little bit of coin out of the market, PvP is my thing. I love PvP. I've never raided. Okay. But I have played the hell out of some PvP, and JB knows it's great fun, right? And so I fully intend to be doing that. Now, when we have like super large battles and stuff like that, and there is a logistical component to it, well, I'm going to help run that. And, you know, maybe an executive of mine is even better than I am, probably, at doing something like that. And so we'll just handle that branch of that PvP. But there's going to be small scale PvP all the time. There's going to be raids, there's going to be dungeons, there's going to be all sorts of crap. And so for me and for all the people that are in Capital, they're going to want to do that stuff. And that's fine. You will get to do that.
You guys, like right along those same lines, there's going to be times where you're going to be tinkering away at making, I don't know, some specialized frugal binder in your shop. And there's going to be a full guild call out. Like, we have a serious situation here. Please drop what you're doing and get here. It's not going to matter what branch you're in.
Nope.
You're going to get your scruples over to wherever that problem is and try and help the guild. So even though we're kind of separated into different branches with different focuses, we are all one guild with one purpose, and that is success. Right? Like, what's our motto? What was it again?
I don't remember. Well, there's a lot of mottos, right?
Yeah, something,
Discover,
something, and
protect,
thrive.
I think that's what it was. Yeah,
we're going to be broken talent.
Yeah.
Let's see. Discover, protect, and thrive. Like, that is the full deal. And we probably should have some kind of a call out for everybody. Broken talent at such and such location.
Broken talent's pretty good. I don't know.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Oh, gosh, good movie.
You are a professional. Know your motto.
Yeah, right? No kidding. So here's another question. This one is from Thogli. When will you be looking at guild alliances? Now, that's a good question. And admittedly, that's not something we've super discussed behind the scenes, but I think probably, well, gentlemen, what do you think?
That is going to be incredibly dependent upon what server we choose.
There you go.
Organic. That's going to be an organic decision.
It is going to be an organic thing. And that's another thing, folks, is we are not going to reveal what server we're going to publicly for a bit. It's going to be a bit.
Yep.
We want kind of guilds to be established, and we want to be able to kind of work through some of those potential alliances first. And we also don't want to end up on Asmongold's server. Like, I love the guy, but no, thank you 100%. I don't want to get stream sniped. We want to try and avoid some of that stuff. And as much as I absolutely love and adore a lot of our other content creators, we may decide to go to a different spot than a lot of the other content creators. And it's because we are such good friends with all of them. Like, they're just fantastic people. And I don't want some game to ruin that by a few people, poaching, and all of a sudden it causes a war. And now in the middle of the war, I'm upset at Vladis. He's upset at me. I'm not going to have that at all.
No.
Friendship is way more important to us than gameplay. So we are, that is way up in the air with alliances, but we are absolutely going to actively pursue them.
All right, I got one here from Wizzy McNasty. Yep. She says, what happens if you get 1,000 guild applications pre-alpha 2?
Hope and pray.
Buckle down, I think, is the answer. Like we fully understand that we are early on this process, but we're excited and we wanted to get this thing put together before we get to the alpha stage of things, because that testing is important for us. And if we have an idea on what we want to do, then we will be able to implement it, right? Like if we don't know what we want to do for a guild, then we're wasting that alpha period. We want to be able to test some of these ideas. And honest to God, like some of the grand plans that I have may not feasibly be possible simply because of game mechanics. They may not be possible at launch and they may become possible. So a lot of this stuff's going to be fluid, but the answer to if you get 1,000 applications is just, we're going to work through it. We will be reaching out to people to see, what branch they are interested in. We're going to need help. We're going to need some help from some of our closest friends and some of the people that we really trust. Because there is 3 of us. This is also a little bit behind the curtains. This was a big conversation for us, whether or not we're going to do 3 300-person guilds, right?
Yeah.
Or 3 100-person guilds separate. And one of the reasons why we came to this is because of these kind of questions. Cash?
I think this is a really good spot to insert this. We are not 100% removing the possibility of a Black Talon Trading Company Guild 2. We're not. It's just we really want to focus on fostering the experience, because what that is going to do is that is going to split us to run another guild. And I don't think that at this point we want to do that. Now, if the demand becomes so high, and this is delusions of grandeur, and I just don't think it's there, but if the demand becomes so high that we later change our minds, we may choose to open up a second 300-person guild. But for now, we really want to create quality over quantity and have 300 really good friends that we just get to have a kick-ass time with the game. So not out of the question, but still a thought.
But we want to play with each other too.
We want to play with each other and we want to have time to do so. If we're playing Guildmaster online for most of our play sessions each night, I'm going to get really pissy. Just want to play the game. Look, man, we've all been waiting to play this game for so long. So I will say, if you're interested, if you're here right now, you're interested in what we're having to say in regards to our guild. So if it becomes a thing for you, mark your calendar for July 13th, and you will most likely be just fine getting into our guild. Now, that being said, we are going to review those guild applications, and there's going to be some things in the guild applications that might not allow you in. So just remember, do a good guild application for us so we can thoroughly vet you and bring you into what we're trying to do here. And like I said, we're trying to build friendships. So XX Bong Slayer 69XX, dude, you're not going to get there. So sorry. And if somebody doesn't have the testicular fortitude to make a Twitch profile of XX Bong Slayer 69XX, you guys, you've had 9 months to do this.
Oh, missed opportunity. So this one's from Wizzy. Will you allow limit streaming of guild content? So there'll be some things that's like, hey, if I'll speak from the Warborne. Look, tactics are important. Battlefield placement is incredibly important. That wall that the tanks have in Ashes of Creation is going to be incredibly useful. There's no way that I can keep our tactics private. It will leak. It will be a thing where it goes around. No matter how much I limit the streaming of members, and I can't force them to do said thing. I never would. I would never ask that or require that of any Warborne member. However, there's some things that we may say hey, don't stream this. Or we may just ask hey, we're going to go out on a patrol. Please don't stream this. So that could definitely be a thing. And then one other one, and this was earlier from DJ Vertec, my man. Good to see you. He says, head start server or no? In short, no. No, we don't have access to that. We just don't. We were not a part of the Kickstarter at the time, so we are late to that party. And unfortunately, we won't be able to do a Head Start server. So we'll be starting alongside everybody. We'll be there, all of us gentlemen, day one, waiting in the queue, enjoying our time.
Bro, I don't know that I would want to be part of a Kickstart server. And we talked about that before. And the reason being is, and if you're part of the Kickstart server, that's awesome. But I would say for main character development, I would not want to be part of a Kickstart server because that would screw over a lot of our people. And I'm not willing to do that. I'd be willing to just, play maybe an alt for a little while, but my main character would always be on the server that we're going to be on.
Right.
Because you figure if that server fills and they start to do overflow servers, you're really screwing the rest of your folks.
Right.
Yep. And I'm not willing to do that.
And we've played this before, where we have to make game day, game time decisions on servers as the thing goes live. Everyone was there for New World. It sucked. There was a lot of decisions made, but despite how stressful it was, all the decisions that were made with the guild in mind. Somebody's got to make tough decisions, and we will do that. But every decision that we make is designed to have that guild in mind.
Right.
On Cash's note there with the Head Start server, it does beg the next question of how are you going to open this thing up, right? And we're just going to have to open it up organically. So we've learned more now in the last month or two about how guilds are going to be structured thanks to the AMA. And that was information that I don't think we necessarily had. I mean, he was talking as low as 30 people to start. If that's the case, we're going to play the game organically until we get the opportunity to start the guild, and then we're going to start it with 30 people. And we're going to go from there, and we're going to make decisions on that. I can pretty much guarantee you, and you've heard it from us before, that we will not race for any reason. We will not race our first character through this game. And I get that if that is a problem for you and you need to be in a guild that does XYZ within the first few days of the game, then, you can do what you need to do, but we are not going to race that in order to open certain things up.
I want to tack on to that a little bit. Unless something changes, we have to keep in mind that although prior to launch, we will probably have 3 full branches of people waiting to get in, we will have a document that tells us in order of accepted application, who comes in next. And the reason being is that AshesOfCreation is going to require us to start the game. Unless something changes, we're going to have to start the game and play and progress our guild. Once the guild evolves, we can start taking those extra spots as perks. If I'm wrong, let me know, but that is my understanding of how things are going to work. You're not going to start with a 300-person guild. You're going to have to work toward that end.
Yep.
And when that becomes the case, we are going to have a list that is going to allow us to be able to bring people in when they were brought in, when their applications were accepted. So there will be an order. Some folks are just going to have to be more patient than others. And Beyond the Verse, thank you very much for the gifted subs. That is absolutely incredible. Thank you so much, buddy. Thank you.
Hey.
That's awesome.
Yeah, guys, that is our friend Sullis from years back, podcasting partner, and he is now running a podcast called Beyond the Verse for Star Citizen and doing very well. So, buddy, it's very good to see you. Thank you very much, man.
Proud of you.
Yep. Much love.
This next one's coming from Az, and I'm saying that because I'll butcher your whole name if I try it, and I'm sorry. Is there going to be a channel for the guild applications in Discord? In short, yes. So as we arrive to the launch date of July 13th, we're going to be working. So basically from here on out, you're going to start to notice a few things. Number one, our video content is going to start to kind of normalize a little bit more to what you were used to seeing before the last month, because we were obviously focused on this. But also there will be some things that you won't see just yet. And one of those things will be the apply channel. There will be a channel that is strictly named apply or something to that effect. And you'll go in there and type a certain command. And then that command will give you specifically, nobody else can see it, but you specifically, a guild application. And so you'll fill that out, and that's how you'll do your app. And at that point, that's when the whole review process begins. And then if you're accepted, well, then you'll be welcomed in, that sort of thing. And then you'll have your branches, yada, yada, yada. So yes, in short, there will be a channel for the guild application.
Goo asked a question, and this is actually a pretty good mechanical question. Goo said, will you be accepting the most active people first so that you can grow the slots faster? That might be a better idea. And the answer is probably no, because my money says that we are going to have a document that is 300 people long before we start this game. Okay.
Yeah.
And again, like Cash said, we will have that in order, and we will simply be reaching out to people as we get close. Now, this is something else that we haven't really talked about, but a couple weeks prior to the game, we might be reaching out to those people who have applied. Remember, like, we're all in this thing wicked early, right? So we're in this thing potentially years early. So this is one of the reasons why we didn't want to just open up the guild applications right now when everyone's super, super excited. We're at least going to wait like a month. And then, you know, if people are still around and they're still excited after they've had some time to think about it, then they can apply. But if we get 2 years from now and this game launches, then a couple weeks beforehand, we're going to reach out and be like, hey, you still interested in this thing? What are your thoughts on this? And if like we can't hear back from them, then, you know, maybe that person just gets plucked out of the list. So unfortunately, that kind of flexibility to have like a gauge after launch to see who's the most active to put in there, it's probably not going to be feasible, because I think that we're already going to have a very good idea of who's going to be in and in what order.
Yeah. That's a good point. Good point.
Yeah, I think I'm sorry, Jibs. I think it's important to say that we feel that we owe those folks loyalty for putting in their applications early and getting accepted into the fold. However, we will have, as part of our guild application process, we will have what is your best mode of contact.
Yeah.
And we will utilize that mode of contact when you are up for your invite. And we're not going to wait forever. I would imagine we probably wait a few days. And if we don't hear anything from that person or see that that person is logged on, then we're going to move on to the next person, and that person's going to be purged. So there will be several guild purges prior to the launch to make sure that we don't have and it's not to take anything away from anybody, but somebody that just found our channel, just saw our guild reveal, and is super stoked on what we're trying to do and jumps in to want to be a part of the guild. That's fine. But those people a lot of times can be fly by night and they'll disappear. They'll never be a part of our Discord. So if those people start to manifest and we send them we tell them, hey, we're ready to give you your guild invite. Let me know when you're going to be in game. If that starts taking place, we cannot waste the time. And we're going to move on to the next person pretty quickly.
Vandar72 says, what server will you be on? We don't know yet because we don't know the servers, but I will say this, being with the roleplay community is a very big deal to us, being a light to medium roleplay guild. And so being with and by the way, you can go to, not to do a plug, but just to kind of get you there. There is a Discord for the AshesOfCreation roleplay. And if you go to LoreForged.com, it's there. You can join. But where those people are, like you see him in chat, Thogly, so many wonderful, wonderful people within the roleplay community. Those are the people that we, Cersei, from the, oh gosh, I'm drawing a blank. I'm having a dad moment. I can't remember her guild.
The Gilded House.
The Gilded House. Thank you so much.
I got you, boo.
Thank you.
I got you.
Thank you. Just wonderful, wonderful people. So being in the server that these folks and so many more are in, like Des, I know that you're here as well. That's really important to us. And being a light to medium roleplay guild, it just simply makes sense. So that's really where we like to be.
And then places like the Golden Feather Tavern and stuff like that. And some of the other podcasters that we know, these are great people, right? We would love to be on a server with people like that. The Golden Feather Tavern, they're the OGs. I know that poor Chibi, they were calling her, what were they calling her? Like Ash's mom or something like that.
She is Ash's mom.
So sweet.
And like, what an amazing title to have.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't necessarily know if she loved it as much, but it was, those kind of people are important to us. And so, you know, we don't have any concrete answers to that question, but needless to say that there's the good that we're trying to get in and there's the bad that we're trying to avoid, right? And so we will take that into account. I have a question here from Axeman. What will be the process of picking your first round of officers? And we haven't really talked about this, but I think that it's fair to say that it's going to be branch specific. Wouldn't you guys agree with something like that?
Yeah, me move my mic like a professional. Yes, I would agree with that thing.
I mean, it wouldn't make much sense for me to be like, hey, I'm gonna, you know, I think we want to put this person in the warborne, and JB's like, damn it.
Yeah, you know, like I'll tell you right now, like me personally, when it comes to the warborne, I've already been watching. Like I'm already looking at people in Discord, people who are there, people who are interacting. Like, what are you doing on a day-to-day basis without knowing you're being, this sounds creepy, but I'm not meaning to be that way, watched? Like, what is
creepy?
Yeah, I know it really is. And I'm not trying to be that way. But like, what is your baseline with fellow members? Because that's really important. At the end of the day, like Cash said earlier in his warden introduction, like it really is about friends. And truthfully, if you've been a part of any community that we've been a part of or that we've had in years past, it's really about family. Like, you know, like that's the most important thing. Like you can have all these branches. That's great. And it's fun. It really is. And we're going to have a good time. But really, it's a big family. We've had people get married that have met through our communities. Just like brothers who've stayed in contact, like on opposite sides of the United States because of communities. Like that's at the end of the day, take all the branches out. That's the most important thing is family. Like you're part of the LoreForged family. So to answer that question, I kind of think that's where my head goes with.
And I think that's an important thing to say for the premise of our entire guild, for our entire content creation, for our community as a whole. It doesn't matter if you get in the guild or not. Our focus will always be to make you a friend.
Yeah.
And you'll see, and I think a lot of this comes from the folks that had a part in what we were doing before with Lore Seekers. Our guild in Lore Seekers was based on a lot of goodwill and acting like very just good human beings in game. And I'll flat out tell you, if you're in game and you're like, you know, if you're acting a fool and you're teabagging a bunch of people that you play or kill, you're not probably going to last very long with us because we play games with honor and we treat each other with respect. And that's something that is asked of you to understand and acknowledge when you join the LoreForged community. You have to join our Discord before you can apply for our guild. So you've already said okay to those things. And we very closely monitor those things. And that also, again, might not be for everybody. Some people might just want to unleash their inner Sith when they're playing a video game, and that is completely fine. But when you're rocking the LoreForged tag, when you're rocking Black Talon Trading, you are going to be respectable to some point. That doesn't mean if you get attacked in the open world or if somebody is threatening our node, we're probably going to F you up. Like I'm throwing that out there right now. We're not just role players and care bears. Our folks can fight.
Say when.
So say when. And that goes for all branches, regardless of whether or not you choose Warborne. We're all going to be mixing it up, but we're going to do so respectfully. And yes, we will keep tabs on that. We will watch that stuff. And if that's not for you, then it's just not for you. But we play the game respectfully. and our leadership will be solid. I can guarantee you that. So if you're thinking about a leadership position, think first about the actions that you're taking and the interactions that you're having within our Discord and within our community, because we are watching everything. And we have little people watching, and they will recommend us who they think is going to be good for leadership. And there will be an avenue for you to do so.
Always
baby. Look at the baby.
Yeah.
It's the baby.
Yeah, I know that I mentioned that in Capital we would be heavily merit based, and that's true, right? Like there's going to be a system in Capital as to like giving back into the guild to make sure that we have the financial stability to do that. That does not mean that I'm going to put somebody in my executive branch that I can't deal with, right? Like,
Yeah, no.
That's not happening. It's like if you're doing great, that is heavily considered, right? But like, let's be real. We are people that are playing a game for fun. And the minute that this becomes not fun, we're going to make changes to make sure that this is fun. So that's important all the way around, right? This whole premise, everything about this is designed to allow us and you and all of us together to have the most fun we possibly can have with this fantastic game that's going to be provided for us. This is the goal. That's the whole goal with all of this. And if you think about that, you have to think about who we are. You've watched us enough. You know who we are. If you're doing something that you think is going to drive us crazy, it's driving us crazy. You know it. And so just think about that kind of stuff, right? Like we want to have fun together. So
yeah, agreed. Question from Sick Death at LoreForged HQ. What exactly will rogues do within the warborne division? Well,
oh man, you just opened up a can.
So to say there will be tactics is an understatement. That's something that's incredibly important, and it'll be something that gets out, and that's fine too. But I'll tell you right now, rogues, I hope you love killing healers, because that will be under the Mistweaver rank, named for simply because of the mist of blood that you weave in your attacks and the things that you do. So if I make a call out to my Mistweavers, there will be certain tactics that we employ on the battlefield. It will never be fully organized because no PvP is completely organized. You guys know this, like things just happen. However, there will be certain things that you do that you excel at and things that you will focus on. And truthfully, I'll be the first to say that when it comes to the warborne specifically, I'm trying to find an MMO where those of you who are accepted into the warborne branch, that we can gravitate towards an MMO to start practicing those things already, to start getting the repetition down. Because ultimately, when it comes to PvP, it's more than just like that one night, oh, they're making the call to go here. It's what you need more than anything is the knowing of when a call is made, exactly what you need to do. Without a doubt, it just becomes habit. And that's truthfully the most important thing, is communication. And so, yes, for those who are in the warborne, we'll be practicing those things. I'm trying to, maybe that'll be something the warborne decide, like, hey, what MMO do you guys want to just get in that we can get a large group of us and just go? But it'll be a fun learning experience and a fun time just to get the camaraderie together, because that's very important. The camaraderie between all three branches is incredibly important. It's fun with the Black Talon trading because it's like all like 1 for 3, but 3 for 1. There's these different these different branches within the guild, but ultimately it's just like this one big family. And so it'll be a good time. We'll have fun.
Good question from Zen Marksman in here. Will each branch have their own channel in the Discord, and their members of that branch will be the only ones in there? The answer to that is yes. It seems that the guild functionality within AshesOfCreation will allow for multiple channels. So our goal is to have a general chat out of character channel, and then for just general conversations of folks who want to group up and go do stuff and go have fun playing all the aspects of the game. And then each branch will have their own channel for communication, not only in Discord, but within the game. And then also in game, we probably will have 1 or 2 roleplay channels, where if we have, say, 2 roleplay channels or 2 roleplay events going on during gameplay session or in the evenings or whatever, those folks will be able to communicate when they're within their own little groups there. So we're going to try and kind of branch it out as much as we possibly can to accomplish what we want to accomplish. But at the same time, I would probably say 80% of the comms are going to take place either in a general chat within Discord or within a out of character general channel within the game. But yes, for Discord specifically, we will have different spots that we can do that. And to Jibbs's point, we will probably have a game that we can talk about and decide upon. Hopefully it'll be guild wide. That would be fantastic, that we could all play a game together prior to launch, where we could dive into. But chances are by the time that happens, Alpha 2 server is going to be pretty persistent. So we're going to be in Ashes kind of doing stuff.
Yeah, that's going to be one of the advantage of the persistent Alpha 2 is that, I mean, my logic is I've been streaming like anything I can get my hands on right now. I'm spending all my time playing little beaver civilization. But like once Alpha 2 comes out, I imagine that it's going to be 98% that. So that's going to be kind of where we live. One of the questions that was asked, but before I get to this question, I do want to elaborate a little bit on Cash's thing. Like, yes, I fully anticipate within Capital to have multiple channels in Discord for exactly the purpose of trading and economic stuff and strategies and politics and things like that. Like Kelly was just making fun of me this morning because I said how much I've enjoyed learning how to be a financial accountant for our LoreForged corporation. And she's just like, seriously, dude. So
you just dropped a bomb. I don't think anybody knows that we've LLC'd, but we did.
Yeah. So we made an LLC and I drafted all the legal documents, and then I had to learn how to be an accountant as well. And so I'm using like an online bookkeeping software, and I'm really quite enjoying it. So, like, to say that there is going to be multiple channels with regards to like strategies and spreadsheets and things like that and talking amongst each other, like, yeah, like the whole guild doesn't want this. All right. People that are into Capital, they're going to want this, but like not everyone wants this. We'll separate it. It'll be fine. Gragas asked the question, will your guild be open to all races? Absolutely no Tulnar. No, we're kidding. Yes, the guild will be open to all races. We're not going to say, we're not going to limit the guild to certain races. That would be absolutely insane. So no, yeah, that's not happening.
Next question so July 13th, like Dark 30 or like 9 a.m. asking for a friend on this guild application.
I love it. I love it.
As soon as we're all awake and capable with coffee in our hands. How about that?
I will say,
do I work
Jibs had us change from July 15th, which is a Monday, which was an absolutely fantastic idea because we're going to be going through guild applications all weekend. So if we open it up on a Saturday, everybody's home, we're home, and we'll be able to plan accordingly. So yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I don't work.
For sure. So
you don't? You should get a job.
I should.
Hurricane says, hi guys, just joined. We'll watch the VOD later. I am mostly a lone wolf type, but I might try my hands with guild stuff during A2. Hopefully you guys allowed to join / leave guild voluntarily. So absolutely for A2, like, hey, do your thing. Like this is just like A2 is, I can't emphasize enough. We can't emphasize enough. A shell guild. It's just a place for us just to get in, experience Alpha 2 together, and truthfully give Intrepid the best feedback we can, because we know ultimately whatever we can give them alongside all the other players, thousands and thousands of players, as we give them this feedback, it just improves the game for all of your fellow community members. On top of that, all of the AshesOfCreation community. So really, it will be a shell guild that all are welcome. You know, like, hey, if you're in A2, you're in LoreForged, cool. Let's get you in. Let's just have fun and experience A2 together, right? And provide feedback.
Rick, and I will say this. Over the years, my friend, we have had a lot of people join our past communities, and I would especially say our Lore Seekers community for Elder Scrolls Online that were very against either A, getting into a guild, or B, like hopping into Discord and such. And I will say this with a lot of confidence. We have been able to change a lot of folks' mind when they decide to take the plunge and dive into the things that we're doing and dive into talking to folks in our community and just giving it a chance to hop into Discord and talk to us. I can promise you this. We will foster a very inviting community where you can play the game as you want to play. But along with that inviting community, we really do like to transfer that same credo into the game and we can be hardcore, we can be gnarly with the things that we're doing, but we do it respectfully. And I think when a lot of folks see that, even folks who are maybe a little bit more introverted and not really, you know, they would rather play solo, that's totally fine. There's a play style for you within our guild. But I think that we could probably change your mind if you just take the chance on diving into voice chat and doing some events with us and stuff. I think we got a pretty good track record for that anyway. So give it a shot.
Yeah.
But you're more than welcome to join us regardless.
Agreed. And St. Axeman. Oh, sorry.
No, I was gonna lead this in, and I think that this is probably the last question that we've really got here, unless you guys have anything like super pressing that you want to get in. But Insane Axeman asked if you were going to have, JB, I'm going to ask you this question: Are you going to have a secret branch or people for foreign node and espionage?
No comment.
That's a perfect answer. Only idiots like James Bond walk into the party and be like, I'm James Bond.
Moving along. Yeah. Thugly and Dez start building bigger walls.
Yeah.
Immediately. Like we said before, we are exploring
Bond.
All
James Bond
aspects of Ashes of Creation. And we will leave it there.
Yeah. And that said, and leave it there, yes, with an emphasis on a period there. We'll also add, like, truthfully to us, we really, really love the Ashes of Creation roleplay community, the guilds they've made. If you go and look at their guild, I forget the name of the server. I was just on there today.
Of course you did.
I know. I'm sorry. Guild, what is it? It's basically promoting your guild. Just the premise that so many people have. Thogli, I see you in here. Cersei, so good to see you at Guild House. Great people. Just love what they're doing. Like, at the end of the day, good relationships with these people because they're such good people. Like, that's truthfully what matters. But yeah, to answer that question, no comment.
You know what I think is going to be fun is just, and I would encourage you guys in our Discord to like say what you enjoyed about this and say what branches have you excited. This is all about getting some excitement in the community for the opportunities that we're going to have. So we would love to hear your feedback. If there's certain things you like about it, if there's certain things you don't like about it. Again, this is our best idea on what is going to work. A lot of this stuff is going to be subject to change, as Ashes is subject to change. If they do an overhaul of the guild system, well, we might have to adapt. We're not going to love that, but we're going to do it. So I just want to thank everybody for coming out here tonight. JB, I cannot thank you enough for that opening video. Of course, it's just a really special moment. Everyone discovered that I am a crier, which is embarrassing.
Oh,
I don't love that,
bro. I mean, your intro.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. Like that completely warmed my heart. And I know that when I go back and watch that again, I'm going to cry again.
Oh,
you're awesome.
Love.
And this will be on YouTube, I assume. We are going to be putting these because a few people were like, where those shirts are awesome, right? And we're not going to pitch that, but two, the other part was they want to see those videos again on YouTube. So I don't know, maybe we'll split them up, or maybe we'll throw it all in one. Who knows? YouTube's just a giant repository for whatever anyone wants to do. So
actually, Sonny, I assumed actually, I guess. Sorry, I thought you knew. So after the stream is live, we have a video with all 3 of the Guild Reveals like trailers put together, and we'll be going out. Now, the boys didn't know about the surprise edition, so that won't be there. That will be a stream exclusive. So that will be a thing that releases tomorrow. So the live stream overall, for those of you who are here, it will be available probably early in the morning. Patrons, you'll get it first, but it'll be available as soon as I can put it out, truthfully. So if maybe you miss this event as a whole and something that you want to watch, you can do said thing. But I really hope overall, and we're going to rate somebody here. You guys know that we love to pay it forward and really just pass the love on. So please don't leave. But I really hope overall that you guys really enjoyed this and that you really got a sense for even more so what LoreForged is about, not just as a community, not as creators, but as truthfully as a family. It's something that's very important to us, and something that's carried daily in the guild interactions that we have, whether it's Discord or what you can come to expect, because it truthfully transcends over into the game as well that we're playing. So you can expect the same thing in AshesOfCreation. So everyone here, who can we raid? Who's available?
You know what? Let's let the chat make the decision. We have a few choices. One is Lude Lloyd, who I am in love with. Lude Lloyd's new his new show is called The Gray Sentinels. But am I also hearing that it's Nice Gaming's birthday?
I don't think Nice is.
I don't think he's
on
streaming.
right now.
Is he streaming?
Yeah, I don't see that. Oh, okay, he might be streaming, but not on Ashes.
It's okay. It's his birthday stream. We got to hook him up.
It's his birthday.
It's his
birthday.
let's
all right, let's chat. Let's hear it. What do you want to do?
Blast it out. Who do you want?
Blast it out. Just on blast. Who do you want to do? Do we have the ability to do a poll? I don't know how we do polls.
I got you right here.
You got it?
Yeah, I don't know how to do this.
We're going to poll it?
Yep. Question.
I don't know how to do
Who
this.
should we raid? I put a Q in there. Sorry.
How did you poll this? I don't know how to do this.
I got it. Nice.
I feel like I should
learn. This will be fun. Yep.
Or
so many choices. So many people streaming Ashes. I absolutely love it.
Absolutely.
Is it just /poll?
Yeah. So there it goes. Can do /poll. Yeah, it's done. I think it worked. Did it work?
There it is. Nice 1-1-0.
All right. We'll let this go. This has got like a minute timer, and then we'll go from there. Hey, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I really hope that you're excited. We look forward to July 13th. Right. It's going to be
cool. Are these logos?
This
though,
feels
man?
so comfy. True. Look, aside from the marketing, these are really comfy.
Yeah. I love my logo. Absolutely. I love my logo so much. I was in Florida talking with JB like over chats and stuff and drawing things on honest to God napkins that I had then put margaritas on top of. It was
we have to save those photos, you dorks, so we can like release those. Like, hey, this was the initial thought for.
Yep.
You should see some of the original logos that I came up for Capital. These are much better.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Let's see.
Cool. Like the whole the designs work together. It's just, I love it so much.
Chat has spoken. We are rating Nice Gaming TV. So let's go give him some love. Let's go make it.
Oh, hang on. We have a gifted sub. We got a gifted sub by Enoch. Jesus, man. Inu Toxalak.
Gifted subs are our absolute favorite. And for all the people that did that tonight, gifted subs, thank you so very, very, very much. Yes, we will call you Tox. That's it. It'll be Tox from now on forever. But thank you so much to everybody. Thank you, everybody, for showing up tonight. What a special moment this was for all of us that were able to take part in this. And it really is so much more fun to do this kind of stuff with all of our friends here. So thank you again.
Agreed.
It's always better with friends. Love you guys.
We love you. You have a great weekend. We will see you next week right here on LoreForged. Take care, everybody.
Peace, love, and honeybees.
Safe travels, adventurers. Let's go. Happy birthday, Nice.
Happy birthday.